Hi, I'm Lisa Tapper, and I'm a pork producer from Iowa. I'm also a family and consumer science teacher, and I'm also a mom. As a teacher and as a parent, I want to make sure that the foods that my students and my children make and consume are safe, high-quality proteins, and pork is a prime example of that. Today I'm going to show you how to take this pork loin and make it into several different recipes. From that one piece of meat, you can get an entire week's worth of menus. One will be a pork roast with a peach sauce. The second will be a breaded tenderloin. And the third recipe, a pork loin and stir-fry vegetable served on a bed of rice. When you get ready to cut up your loin, you're going to want to think about what your meals are going to be. When I cut a loin, I like it to be fat side up. It's a little bit easier to go through and cut and gives a nice crisp cut to our edges of meat. America's pork producers are committed to producing a safe and wholesome product in a socially and responsible way. They want to guarantee this by the programs that they have of Pork Quality Assurance Plus and on the We Care initiative. Both of these are important to protect human health and also to make sure that antibiotics are used responsibly. We now have it portioned off, and we have our pork loin. We're going to put that into a greased casserole dish. We have our pork chops. Our final portion will be for the stir-fry. We'll want to make sure that we cut it into chops just like we did a few seconds ago, and then we will turn each of our chops on edge and cut them into thinner pieces of pork that will stir-fry quickly and easily. On our farm, as with all pork producers, we want to make sure that we work very closely with our local veterinarian. We want to make sure that we have a comprehensive health program that is administering antibiotics only when needed and administering them appropriately. This helps to ensure food safety and human health. Our first recipe is great for those families that are on the go. It is our pork loin with our peach sauce, and it's going to be either cooked in the oven or it can be left in a crock pot to cook all day while you're gone. We will be combining approximately 15 to 16 ounces of canned peaches with approximately 1 cup of peach jam. Those will be mixed in the blender. We'll pour it over the top of our pork loin, and when the temperature on the inside is 145 degrees, in 3 minutes sitting time, you'll be ready to eat. The second recipe that we're going to make today will be breaded tenderloins. We'll take the pork loin chops that we cut earlier, and my students are going to start by using the meat tenderizers, and each of you will be taking one of those chops and pounding them on your cutting board. That looks really good, girls. We'll go ahead and get them breaded in a second, but did you have any questions about this?
Well, in class we've been studying a lot about the safety of different foods, so what makes the pork chop safe to eat?
Well, the U.S. food chain is very, very safe, and there are many safeguards in place to guarantee the consumer a safe product. It starts on the farm with the farmers, and they work closely with their veterinarians to make sure that antibiotics are used appropriately. And when the animal leaves the farm, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration provides many safeguards to ensure a safe product for all consumers. Another safeguard is the U.S. Food Safety and Inspection Service. They monitor and test meat to ensure its safety by making sure there are no harmful residues. We've got the pans going already, and it looks like that is hot, so let's get started. We need to bread those tenderloins. We're going to put them in an egg wash, and then we're going to put them in some breadcrumbs so that it's got a nice little crumb cropping on top of it, and then we're going to fry them. You'll cook them until they're lightly browned, and it takes about 2 minutes on each side. These look delicious. Our third and final dish is a pork stir-fry. It's going to be marinated, and we're going to use Pepsi. We're going to let the meat marinate just a moment in the Pepsi, and then we will start stir-frying it. To stir-fry our pork, we already have the oil in the pan hot, and we're going to put it right in. Usually you keep this moving a little bit. It has to brown, but you also don't want it to get hard. You want it to be nice and tender. Consumers are very concerned about food safety, which means that pork producers are also concerned about that. For more than 20 years, America's pork producers have continued to improve their on-farm practices for responsible uses of antibiotics. This is the cornerstone of the Pork Quality Assurance Plus certification program. And today, more than 55,000 producers are PQA Plus certified. Looks like we're about ready to put in the vegetables. For ease here, we are using stir-fried frozen vegetables. We'll let those vegetables steam for about 4 minutes, and then we'll add our sauce. And all we have to do is heat the sauce, serve it over a bed of rice. Supper's ready to be served. I hope you enjoy these recipes, and I want you to leave knowing that America's pork producers support the responsible use of antibiotics in human and veterinary medicine. Professional veterinary input for guidance on antibiotic use, and sound science for antibiotic research to make pork a safe and wholesome product for all consumers.